Okay, I'm live now. I think I'm live. I'm live now. All right. What's up, everybody? It's Marcus. I was gifted a copy of We Never Yield from Ariel Knight. I don't know if you remember Neil from Level Up Your Wealth podcast. He was a guest on my podcast like 4 weeks ago. All the days are running together. But he's launched his new game, partnered with Beta Jester and with Head Up Games, the publisher. And they were generous enough again to give me a copy of it. The game launched today, so I'm going to boot it up and then we're all going to play it live. And hopefully, I figure out how to put this all together. This is the second time doing a stream with the two monitors set up. That's why you see me looking over here. This is where the other screen is. Anyway, let me know if you're hanging out in the chat. Say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And we will get this kicked off. Let's see. One of these buttons does a thing. Share screen. Entire screen. I know how to do this. Someone shared that screen. Okay, so let me play this. So as you can see, just launched today, there is a discount on the game, 10% off between now and July 23rd, so a week from today. It's in my library, so I'm going to play it now. Hopefully it loads up on this screen. Let's see what's happening. There we go. And I think I told it to play the audio. So hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can't hear it. I'm still trying to figure out this whole audio thing. No? All right. I don't see anybody here. I'm gonna mute the audio on LinkedIn just in case. Jump over there to see if I see anybody in chat. And I do not. So we're going to press any button to start. New game, start new game, yes. So there's solo mode, there's co-op mode, and chill mode. We're gonna go with solo. I played the demo for the first game, I don't know, like a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's been a while. I think I only played for like half an hour, so I'm gonna start with normal. And I saw another video, an interview that Neil did. He said that you definitely want to do the tutorial. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go through the tutorial real quick for all of our sakes.
Jump over an object blocking your path.
Yeah, I can do that. There we go.
Press this.
Jumping. Oh, it jumped.
Jump over an object blocking your path. Press this button to have me jump.
Oh, it's 2-player, right?
Slide under things blocking your path.
So there's 2 sets of controls here. There's a control for the character in the foreground, or in the foreground is up, down, left, right on the D-pad or the keyboard, and then controls for the controller in the back is WASD. So you have to keep track of what's happening in both the foreground and the background.
Slide under things blocking your path. Okay, now me. Checkpoint. Attack objects blocking your path. Wally, attack now!
What? Oh, okay, that's the attack button. So press right on attack. There's a...
Here we go!
I think I jumped over it. I wasn't supposed to jump over it.
Pulleys cover a lot of ground quickly. Hit these buttons at the same time. You get it now? That half of the controls is his.
I don't have it
This
now
is mine.
yet, but I'm working on it.
Now double slide.
Double slide. So control both the characters at the same time. All right. Yeah, definitely needed to do the tutorial. That wasn't going to end well for me. I think, where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. I was going to put the scrolling marquee thing at the bottom, so I'll just keep reminding you that it's on Steam, developed by Beta Jester and Aerial Knight, and published by Head Up Games. Actually can't. It has control of my mouse, so I guess I won't be jumping back over to the stream console. This is like in full screen mode, which is cool. It looks cool on the monitor. You can't see that, but you can see the full screen.
We'll come back for him.
I really wish I had control over my mouse. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right. All right, it's just telling me I gotta slide. I know how to do that. Gonna jump again. Getting points for jumping and sliding. I don't know if it's a timing, if I can get more points for timing.
Nice.
Go up this hill. Slide. Parkourish. Jump there. I don't have any weapons. Oh, there goes a weapon. Can't see the chat. Good and evil twin. I'm a twin.
Time to go.
But I don't have any swords. You gotta dap up. You gotta dap. You always gotta dap up. Alright.
I got this.
Other character. There's a progress bar at the bottom. I didn't see that before. Just going over kind of another tutorial at the beginning, I guess. Make sure you know what you're doing. This is the part where I'm probably going to start talking less, because I can't talk and play video games well at the same time. Jump. Oh, jump that one. Jump. That's what I get for talking. Here we go. Let's try this again. Jumped. I don't know if you see, there's the flying monster. I was supposed to jump there again. Okay, jumping. Because they're not running in line, that's throwing me off a little bit. Jump over this. The checkpoint. There's that. That's good. Now it's just the one character, so it'll be easier. Shield. Check off this. Another checkpoint. So, oh. I was gonna say we're about 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way through the stage. And I've only died twice so far. So far, so good. QE. Oh, I'm powering up. I'm powering up. Yeah, I powered up.
Back in the mix.
But I still needed to duck. So powering, I need to figure out next time when I should power up. Probably not. I need to dodge something. Got the crown. I want to know what the crown does. Another checkpoint. Checkpoints are always good. Did I have to go back some? No, this is the other player now.
I got this. Time to go.
Kind of sounds like Neil. Send him a message to see if you did the voice acting. And then I know it has the co-op, so I'll have to check with them too. I don't know if it's definitely designed for local co-op. Right, you see in the top left and top right hand corners, all of the keys. The WASD on the right and then the directional pad.
Try to keep up.
So there's the power-ups again. I think at the same time okay. So this is the mega mode, right? It's the final form, and then I'm gonna try not to hit an obstacle right after this. I did that last time.
Back in the mix.
Hey, what's up, Joe? I see Joe's here. Duran. Oh, yeah. So I gotta be careful about looking over here because the game's over there. All right, here we go. Here we go. I got 2 out of 3 stars. Might have been all of the deaths, the B rank. I'm gonna go to the next level. I'm gonna see if I can get 3 stars and an A rank. Y'all can hear the music? You can? Yes? Let me know in the chat. Then move on to the next level. I have control of the mouse again, which is cool. Super mode. All right, so there's super mode.
Let's do the thing.
Gonna do the thing. Joe, I sent you that message, DM on LinkedIn with a link to collegiate esports sustainability. So specific recommendations of things to create a sustainable collegiate esports ecosystem. And I meant to have that conversation earlier with everyone else on the last stream that I did when I was playing IAH. We can talk about sustainable esports now. If you guys are tuned in, there's a couple folks here live. You're still here. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I did miss it. All right. I know I said I can't play video games and talk at the same time, so I'm gonna try to have that conversation with you all trying to have that conversation with you while playing this game. I really wanted to get 3 stars in A rank. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, sustainable esports. Let's going to slide under this now. So attack. I saw that before, and that's what threw me off. There we go. Attack again. So here's the thing. If you haven't been paying attention, and it's been easy to miss, right? But in 2008, there was a housing market crash. And that year, and I guess for the next 2 years afterwards, there was approximately, like on average, a 15% decrease in the number of people who were born, like kids born in that. Okay. 1 second. Born. So, as you know, like most kids go to college roughly when they turn 18. So it's a problem that's been basically brewing for 18 years, and now we're at this kind of inflection point where like those kids will be 17 and 18 like the end of this year, end of summer next year, and definitely into 2026 here comes this rolling ball again. I think I might have to run from it. Let's power up real quick while it's doing that animation. 2025, 2026, the words I'm looking for, enrollment cliff. So as you know, like student enrollment's directly related to the amount of tuition that a school receives, which is their operating budgets, unless you have like an endowment. So you've got a lot of these programs, these schools, who are having to adjust their budgets slowly or rapidly. In some extreme cases, like in Arizona State University. And in order to do that, many of them are cutting, programs that aren't creating the return on investment to justify the expense, right? So you think about esports from a business perspective, or just as a business in general, even outside of the collegiate space, you want a business to make more money than it spends. It's one of the major issues with not collegiate esports, with scholastic esports, not scholastic, professional esports. Sorry, I'm playing this game, losing all my words. But with scholastic professional esports, is that we're spending all this money on buildings and salaries, and not making that money back up in a combination of sponsorships or product service sales. And so it's not sustainable, and you're seeing the same thing happen in the collegiate and scholastic space. Jump over this. Trying to get to the main point here, distracted by the game. So one of the things that we see in the collegiate space is that the schools are basically copying what the professional esports organizations did. Go! Here we go. What's this? I'm going to jump into that. And what they're doing is trying to mirror traditional sports. If you've played in traditional sports, and I died again, like traditional sports typically is exclusive, right? It's like the best players in whatever the sport is. That could be basketball, football, you name it. And when you see that, like most people are spectators. Oh, my battery on my headphones are dying. I can't have this conversation, play this game at the same time. So long story short, I've got it all broken down in this document that I gave in a presentation a couple weeks ago. So if you want to know the recommendations about aligning with school goals, creating a more inclusive environment, in terms of having like the 66% of people who play video games actively a part of the ecosystem, which is how you can then get like local sponsorship revenue and not have to have as many expenses on brick and mortar facilities. Let's see, what kind of score did I get? What did I get? I got another B rank and 2 stars. It's in the document. I can't have that conversation and play this game at the same time because it keeps affecting how many deaths I have in my end rank. But if you have any questions, well, I'm going to take a couple seconds here, break, and answer any questions you have about that. If you're still watching, I got 3 people tuning in live. Thanks for your support. I can share that link. If you send me a message here in the chat, I'll be sure to send you the link afterwards. If I don't have any other questions here, I'm gonna jump right back in and then try to get A rank. I think I can, like, lock in and focus. I can beat the stage and have no deaths and get 3 stars in an A rank. So let's try that.
Try to keep up. Shut up and move.
Here we go. The goal is to have 0 deaths.
Hey.
How did I die? Okay. Well, now I have 1 death. I could have sworn I was... Oh, I think I hit the control key instead of... Yeah, I did that myself. So maybe they give you like 1 death. And you can like independently control these things. What's really gonna mess me up is when they're gonna want me to do like one thing with one character and a different thing with a different character. Right now what I'm doing is the same thing with both characters. That's not like the way my attention span is set up. Colleagues and bosses tell me like you can't really multitask ever.
Watch out.
Oh, I think I kicked it. I kicked it the last second. Can't multitask really. No one ever really multitasks. You like rapidly switch back and forth between tasks, but that's not multitasking. So like having to independently control these 2 characters for me would be multitasking, which again, I'm not good at. So as long as I only have to jump like at the same time you see me doing that, then I can do that. Like even when there's not an obstacle in the foreground character, if I had to do 2 of those things differently, then I would just die, which you've seen already. So we're powering up again. I'm not sure what the power up is, like invincibility. So I'm pretty sure when I powered up the first time, I died. It'll say it on the next level. All right. So now I just have the 1 character. I think that's this right. Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna try to finish that conversation. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna try to finish the conversation. So the goal, right, if you think about traditional sports, traditional sports on campus, right, it's only accessible to brands that basically can afford like 6-figure budgets, right? There's or 7-figure budgets, multi-year contracts, don't die. No. So your Coca-Colas, right, like marquee brands that end up on the billboards. Those are the ones who get sponsorship, and it's basically not accessible for local businesses, like small and medium businesses, the ones that make up the vast majority of the businesses in the community. They can't afford to sponsor the scoreboard for $100,000 or multiples of millions of dollars in multi-year contracts. But if you had esports, you're able to then lower the barrier of entry and say like, hey, why don't you just sponsor this $50 tournament? It's doing that thing that I was hoping it wasn't going to ask me to do. I missed it. What happens if I... Huh. Oh. I think I found the money glitch. I'm just going to run to the end of the stage. So I got some time. So, Duran, I'll send that over to you. But yeah, so what I was saying was that if you think about like esports, you have multiple games, right? Like even like basketball court, like only 1 or I guess 2 teams can play on that at the same time. Oh, back on this. All right. Only 1 set of teams can compete on that 1 court at any given time. But if you're playing League of Legends, or I'm still not at the stage. If you're playing League of Legends, or Rocket League, or Mortal Kombat, in a given period of time, you can have an infinite number of simultaneously occurring games. So here we go. Which means you can have an infinite number of sponsorship opportunities. Again, comparing that to traditional sports where you only have like one match and only the sponsors who are sponsoring that match can happen at a given time.
Good one.
They get 3 stars. They're both celebrating. Nope. Give me 3 stars. Give me 3 stars. There we go. So if you only die once, you get 3 stars in the A rank. What was I saying? So, physical sports, one set of sponsors, one match happening at a given time. Esports, because it's digital, right? As long as it's not in a physical brick and mortar location, especially if you're thinking about the virtual piece, you can have multiple and unlimited number of simultaneously occurring matches. And so you could have like business A sponsors the 8 o'clock match. You've got 5 8 o'clock matches. Business A sponsors match 1, tournament 1. Business B sponsors tournament 2. Business C sponsors tournament 3. Business 4, tournament D. Business E, tournament E. And so you can, because you have multiple sponsors, you can make the price, the barrier to entry low where they can get in for $50 or $100 or $1,000. You can scale up, but you can start low, and you just can't afford to do that in traditional sports. And in many cases, like it doesn't make sense because of all the investment that goes into traditional sports. So now, especially if you have like different types of games, right? You have people playing puzzle games and shooting games, or some schools don't want to do shooting games, but puzzle games and shooting games and racing games. There are 3 billion gamers worldwide, and there are hundreds of thousands of games. So if you have like multiple types of games, you can cater games to specific sub-communities within your larger community. Again, if you think about like traditional sports, if you've got your top tier esports players, it's going to be the top 0.001% of people who play a given game, Rocket League. But if you look statistically, at least in the US, 2/3 of Americans play video games regularly. Some might define that as monthly, some weekly. Some of them play daily, but regularly. So over the course of the year, multiple times a year. Why would you ignore the opportunity, right? Lose the opportunity to engage that entire 2/3 of your wider community because you want to cater only to the top 0.001% of people who are super, super good at Rocket League, right? So then if you have a community of, let's say, 20,000 students at your school, you can either, this is what we see in traditional esports, all right, in the collegiate space, you can either build your entire ecosystem around the, let's call it 100 folks who play across your top 5 games, Rocket League and Super Smash Brothers, whatever the other 3 or 4 games are. And so your actively engaged community are those 100 students, or your entire community, which includes faculty, staff, alumni, prospective students at high schools, people who are part of the wider community who have never even stepped foot on campus, right? You have people who are diehard like Bulldog fans for University of Georgia or the Seminoles or the Gators, folks who have never gone on campus but who live in the community, who may also play video games. But your particular strategy of only engaging those top tier players is excluding the vast majority of people who could and most likely would play just for fun if you gave them the opportunity. And then once you have that, now again, if you're thinking statistically across the US, 66%. So let's take again 20,000, or make it easier number, 10,000 students, right? 10,000 students, 66% of that is 6,600 students. If we go back to 20,000, it's 12,000 students, 13, give or take. Now you have a community of 13,000 people that small and medium businesses rely on, right? Like when I went to school at Georgia Southern University, like the local, pizzerias and some of the bars, right? Like all of them depended on the dollars from the students in order to stay like viable as businesses throughout the school year. And in fact, some of them like changed their operating hours, their opening hours during the summer when there were less students. So they typically can't afford to sponsor your school sports teams, again, because they don't have the budget. And they can't even sponsor like traditional esports they wanted to, because as many of you know, if you're in this ecosystem, right, you have to have at least, on average, like $100,000 for a decent opportunity since the bubble has burst, I've seen some of those opportunities open at the 50 grand. But even then, like the average small business might have like a $50,000 advertising budget total, right? So if they have $50,000 and most of them don't, they're not gonna put it all into like one spin at the wheel, right? If you know whatever that metaphor is, right? The Ferris wheel or whatever it is, the prize wheel, trying to get dollars back out for the 50 grand they put in. And as we have seen repeatedly, most sponsors fail to get even like a break even, let alone like multiples on their return on their investment in, which is why so many so many sponsors are taking the dollars out of esports and putting it back into newspapers even, better than investing in esports in terms of return on investment. But you know, Facebook ads and influencer marketing and email, at the very least, you can track those things. Generally speaking, you can't track anything that happens in sponsorship. And unfortunately, most of the teams, particularly the professional organizations, don't really care about getting the return on the investment back to the sponsors. So I say that to say, like, that's what has created the bubble, that and artificially inflating the viewership numbers with bots and you know, just bad business. And a lot of that has been carried over into collegiate scholastic esports, because a lot of those folks from that ecosystem, you know, were looking for opportunities away from the teams and have made their way into scholastic and collegiate spaces, including like organizations as a whole. I forget what's up in there, Wisdom Gaming or something up in like Chicago, somewhere up north. I remember they had to lay off, I want to say like 50% of their staff. And then they started selling courses to local schools, like collegiate esports educational courses, like including like sustainability or how to run an organization. Given that they just laid off a bunch of people, I would think that they might not be the most qualified to teach those courses. That's what you're seeing. Again, the philosophy of mirroring traditional sports, which basically ruin professional esports organizations, which is why, generally speaking, they're selling out over in the Middle East. It's carried over into the collegiate space, and it was underwritten by most schools because the schools said, hey, video games are cool. Like, you know, schools are slow to evolve, to adapt. The business model for higher education hasn't changed basically in over 100 years. And so they were behind the curve, right? Like the esports bubble was booming and on its way to bursting before most schools even recognized it was a thing, that it needed to be important to them. And so now what we're seeing is like schools starting to ramp up as the rest of the ecosystem has already ramped down. And unfortunately, while they were following all the headlines, they didn't understand what was actually happening behind the scenes, like this bubble that's burst. And they didn't understand that there are problems. So they just took the recommendation of what you see in professional esports is get the most expensive machines you can get, you know, get all of the things you would expect in traditional sports for your esports team, but you don't need all of that, right? Like if you want to play Minecraft, you can play Minecraft on your cell phone. You can play Candy Crush on your cell phone. Like I have a not good laptop in front of me that you can't see. Like I can play some games. I can't play, it probably won't run Crysis, right? For those of you who remember the meme Bloodborne Crysis. But that doesn't mean that it has to. As long what you need is fun and engagement. That's what esports is for. It's for creating engagement in a community and leveraging that community and that engagement to focus it towards a business goal. But again, when you only focus on the tier 1 best players, then you're limiting your engagement potential. I went on a soapbox there. But anyway, what's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you tuning in from Chile, man. I appreciate that. We had a lot. We actually need to catch up. It's been a while. I'm gonna jump back in here and play another level. If you have any other questions about esports sustainability, again, professional tier or collegiate tier or in general, any other questions, let me know in the chat. And I will send you all, I've got all your information. If you're still tuning in, let me know if you want that link. I've got just a couple of recommendations that I made in a presentation from 2 weeks ago about like what schools, how they need to be adjusting their strategy for collegiate esports in order to create sustainability. And then I'm going to leave you with one more thing, and then we'll go back to the game. Is and I had mentioned this before, then I got sidetracked. So schools were underwriting all of the expenses, right? The one that was over in Arizona State University, I want to say that was $1 million facility. I want to say there's Conestoga College up in Canada has a $4 million facility they're launching next year. The schools were underwriting it because, again, they heard the video games are cool and that all the kids are playing video games, the youth, right? And B, they're trying to mirror what they have seen more in traditional sports. But what they're not considering is that once you pay for all of this expensive equipment, the building, the personnel, you've got like ongoing, recurring annual like maintenance expenses. So let's say it's $1 million facility or your investment is $1 million, it might be $100,000 to $250,000 annually to maintain that. And if you're putting that money in year over year, which schools have done up until recently, there's no way that facility is giving you a return on that investment when only less than 100 students are actively involved in that space. And so it's impossible to recoup that expense or even have a positive return. And then when budgets are getting cut, the audio is a little louder. Thank you. I forgot about that last time. Let me see if I can jump in here. It's settings. Let's see here. I'm gonna quit this for a second so I can see if I can turn the audio down. How do I settings, stats, continue, save data. Oh, there we go, here, music volume. Let me cut this all down to 25%. Back up to 40, 35. Is that better? 35, is that better? Daniel? Not seeing you say no, so I'm gonna assume that's a yes. There's a little bit of delay from the stream. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of delay on the stream. So I forgot what point I was making. I'm gonna go back to the game. Oh, so the budget's being cut. People are looking for opportunities to recoup like the entire collegiate budget. Thank you, Daniel. Is recoup the entire budget, or places where they can recoup the budget. So they're going to look at, like, again, investment versus return. Like, how many students in our wider community are being supported by this $250,000 maintenance expense that we have every year? How is it contributing, or is it contributing to graduation rates? Is it contributing to how quickly our students get jobs? Is it contributing to the student experience in a positive way? If you're only, again, catering to 0.001% of Rocket League players, then there's no way it's going to have a scalable impact across the institution. So it's just a very simple, easy business decision to say, well, we're not paying for that anymore. And I believe that most schools aren't considering that. There's a collegiate conference happening in Orlando. I double checked the itinerary. No one is discussing sustainability. And I think that a lot of people are going to be unpleasantly surprised here in the next 12 to 24 months. And then we'll start to see, just like we've seen in professional esports, now, like when I started having that conversation in 2018, everybody laughed at the concept of sustainability. Now you can't listen to or see a press release from a leading organization in this space that doesn't have the word sustainability mentioned in it at least once. So anyway, that's on its way to the collegiate space as well. We're going to continue through one more stage here. Let's see if I'm going to keep the warnings. We'll try this one. Level 4. Oh, it says safe zone. What's that? This episode 2. Why is it not letting me? I think because of the different difficulty. Let me go back. I'll go back. Space. Challenge levels. Oh, there's a whole new mode in here that I wasn't even aware of. Let me see if I can get back to where I started though. Let's go back. Let's go back here, and maybe that'll make it easier for me. No. So I think I have to clear this. I thought I already cleared this. Maybe it's because I finished towards I left the game towards the end.
Try to keep up. Shut up and move.
Oh, I'm gonna miss this. I looked over here at the chat. There was the obstacle. All right, let's try that again. Jerron, yeah, please send me more information. And also, if anybody's interested in a digital copy of my book, I spent 2 years working on that book, Innovate Gaming and Esports. It features thought leaders, businesses, and game studios from around the world, 6 of the world's 7 continents, because I could not find anyone in Antarctica. I know there are people who play video games in Antarctica. I've seen that, but what I have not found is anyone in the gaming and esports professional ecosystem. So either like game studios, esports organizations, service providers, all of that. I couldn't find that. So unfortunately, I didn't have the entire world represented inside the book, but I was able to ship copies to 18 countries around the world on 6 continents. So I say all that to say the book is 5-star rated. A lot of people love it, and I'd be happy to offer it to you all for free. Let me know in the chat if you'd like a free digital copy. It's cover to cover the entire book. You're welcome to it. To get your feedback. I will hopefully be working on volume 2. First part of next year. I was hoping to do that earlier this year, but apparently making a bunch of people upset about just kind of keeping it real about the esports ecosystem makes it also very difficult to find work as a consultant. So it's my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but it's my opinion that I'm a combination of shadow banned and blacklisted in the space. So I didn't have the time that I thought that I would have, because business for me has been slow this year. That said, got a lot of exciting projects on the way, and I think I'm gonna have some time towards the end of this year or first of next year to get back to publishing volume 2. Volume 1 for me is kind of intro into gaming and esports. So it was the book that I wish that I had when I was a kid. Played video games my entire life, but didn't understand until after I graduated college is the actual industry, that it was part of the entertainment industry, and then I could have a career in it. So when I was a high school student, I didn't take my school seriously. I couldn't explain the value of video games to my parents or my teachers. My trigonometry teacher in 9th grade deleted my video game that I was building on my TI A3 Plus graphing calculator off my calculator because she didn't recognize I was learning and voluntarily teaching myself to code because I love video games so much. I'm gonna go to superhero mode again. I'm not sure what this does. I'm gonna have to ask Neil about that. But since I earned the power up, I'm gonna use it. Yeah, but anyway, the book. So I've had people say that it's their esports Bible. I've had other people say it's the best book they've ever read. I've got copies of it somewhere over there. Oh, playing the game. But yeah, if you let me know, I'll send you a link in the comments. Oh, I didn't die. Okay. I don't know what this power-up does. I feel like I should know what this power-up does. That's like important. You see that? So now they're switching it up, right? So like before I had both characters jump or both characters slide. Now it's like one character jump, one character slide. This is the part where I'm going to start to die repeatedly. Go, no deaths so far. Yeah, Dan, you're right. Most teachers don't understand the benefits of esports, and schools as an institution has always looked down on gaming and esports, right? Esports is just competitive gaming, and gaming has never been celebrated or supported, generally speaking, in schools. We know that the brain activity of people who compete at a high level in esports is the same as competing at a high level, in traditional sports. There's research to suggest that. We know that it has the same, social benefits and soft skills that you learn in, oh, I got A rank, in traditional sports. But that literature isn't as accessible to educators as I think it could be or should be. And that's one of the reasons I made a physical copy of the book, is that like older generations just like to have physical copies of books, right? So I have the digital version, but I wanted something that I wanted to, just like, those of you who work in the esports space in schools, all the time we talk about like meet the kids where they are. Well, you got to meet the administrator. Physical copies of books. Well, we got to get physical copies of books. I had one death. I don't remember that, but okay. So we're gonna try to do no deaths. I got one more run, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Again, if you're tuning in, thanks for your support. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm playing We Never Yield. It's the sequel to Never Yield from Aerial Knights, and I forget, Beta Jester, published by Head Up. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's on Steam. It's supposed to be ported to consoles other platforms. I'm not sure which ones in what order, but other platforms at a later date, so later in the year. So if you want to get it now, it's only available on Steam. But since they launched today, they've got a launch discount. I think it's for the next week. We got a question here, or a statement here from Daniel. It says, they consider it very interesting when you've explained that traditional careers, which are currently oversaturated, can have a less exploited specialization. All this, such as psychologists specializing in esports, as well as lawyers, doctors, and others. Perfect point, Daniel. And when I talk to schools and I talk to folks who are looking for careers in general, there's a lot of that opportunity, or those opportunities, in esports. Basically everything that you understand from traditional sports, plus everything that's in the entertainment industry combined, is the opportunity in gaming and esports. So yes, that is competitive players and coaches and game developers, but it's also things like support functions you wouldn't normally think about when you think of video games. So lawyers and doctors and accountants and psychologists, both for competitive teams and for game development studios, mental health and physical health, and both on the field and off the field. Let's see. I'm gonna play, like I said, one more round. I'm gonna try to beat this next one with no deaths. But again, if you're tuning in, you want to pick this up on Steam, it's on discount. It's discounted now for the launch. Oh, this is a safe zone. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Change my outfits. There's these little bunny rabbit looking things. Not sure if I can punch them. I can't. Talk to my evil twin. Oh, where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. Press for action. I'm just gonna go upstairs. Oh, it says, okay, I didn't see that over there. It says enter, but I can't see it because I've got this prompt about.
Did you see that? That was crazy. I can't believe we're back here. Did you see?
Yes, I saw. Now summon the crown and take us home.
It sounds like Neil.
And those golems, are those our people? What happened to them?
Don't care. Home now.
What are you talking about? We are home, finally. I never thought we'd see this place again.
This isn't our home.
And where is it? Detroit? Or that lab where you let them run all those tests on me?
I'm not doing this with you.
Then you put the crown on and go back yourself.
You know I can't.
Yeah, second Glory's powers are always too random to risk.
Yeah, so they're referring to some stuff from the first game.
Tell me that again.
And I didn't finish the first game.
Look, I don't have the power to use the crown like that right now anyway. Help me find out what happened to this place and we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll find another way back. Or maybe run into the person that put us in those chains. I know how much you love payback. Deal? I'll take that as a yes.
Indeed.
It's over here. Oh. I don't know how to unlock those. I need 3 of something. Oh, stars. I think if I hit E. No. Okay. So I can switch between the 2 characters. I don't know how to spend my money. I want to spend my money and I can't. Maybe it's something I unlock later, or it's something else other than stars. Or if I hit enter. There we go. It was enter. Oh man, I should have spent. This one said scorpion. Which one said scorpion? I should have spent them down here. All right. So I accidentally used up most of my stars. What does this thing do? Save slots. Cool. So I actually collected like 7 stars just so we're on the same page. I spent 6. We all saw I had 7 stars. All right, one more level. Then I'm gonna call it a night. Before we do that, we got something else from Daniel. You said you took PS5s to a school. Opportunities exist in the gaming and esports space, and so they don't understand how to translate what they see in the classroom to career opportunity. I had the same experience again when I was writing code on my calculator. I was making a video game. Ideally, I think in an ideal scenario, what should have happened is that my teacher should have put me on a fast track for programming. And I know that I think programming was offered like the next class up. Like nobody was trying to connect my passion for video games with this opportunity to learn to code. Now I ended up getting a degree in IT, and I've been writing code for 15 years. But like I only started writing code professionally like when I graduated from college. So there's like this 8-year gap of high school and my undergrad degree where I should have been, not should have, but could have been writing more code, maybe getting better at coding, and I missed that opportunity. Oh, it's not showing the screen anymore. Let me jump back over there. Did it lose focus on? Yep. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna jump back over here to the game. Figure out how to get my mouse back. Give my mouse. Give me my mouse. Come on, Restream, let go of my mouse. There we go. All right, I think that's working now. Yes. All right, so back to the game. I'll jump back over here. All right, if you have any other questions again about sustainability for esports and professional organizations or for collegiate, happy to answer those and send you, again, I had a presentation from a keynote I gave at a collegiate esports conference back in March. I made a separate presentation from that. So it's technically two presentations. Happy to send those links, and then happy to send a digital copy of my 5-star rated esports book. In the meantime, let's jump back into the game. Okay, we have control, we have control. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Hitting right enter. Next episode. Here we go. Here we go. No deaths. This is the goal. No deaths. So far, so good. Oh. Don't fall, don't fall. Slide, jump, grappling hook, grappling hook. Okay, grappling hook. Jump. Oh, I did that. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. I really expected to lose. Not good, not good. Jump. Power up here. And I need to remember after it gets done powering up that it was a slide thing. See, I almost missed that. What happened to... I missed that. What happened to the character? So I thought that was the progress bar at the bottom of the screen, but that's the power-up bar, I think. Hope the characters survive. Oh, wait. Come on. In the future, I want to avoid that trap altogether. As soon as this round is over, or this level. I almost screwed that up because I was pressing the controls from the wrong character. I don't know if you saw that, like the last minute. I did not screw that up. I almost did though. Trying to get to the end of the level here. Almost there, I think. Oh, can I avoid that? Didn't screw that up. We're about to have no deaths here. Man, that is terrible. I keep forgetting which one of these controls goes with which one of the characters. This is embarrassing. Let's try again. Jump, slide. I still don't know which character is which, but I'm going to do the opposite of what I did before. This is the end of the stage. bet this is the end of the stage. Come on. Is it yeah, controlling the two characters at once is this is the end of stage. It looks like that's the kind of look it has. This nope. There it is. No stars. I bet I have 0 stars. Let's see. Oh, I had 2 stars. Guess it could have been worse. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is We Never Yield by Aerial Knight and Head Up Games, published by Head Up Games, Beta Jester. You can find it on Steam. Look up Aerial Knight or We Never Yield or Never Yield. I think either one of those will work. It's on discount now for the next 7 days because it launched today. Shout out to Neil and the team for putting it together. Music's dope. All the animations are dope. It's challenging. Like multitasking is difficult for you. Like trying to control the 2 characters independently of each other. It gets dicey. So that's that. I'm gonna stop playing the game and continue to have just answer any questions anyone has. I know there's got a couple folks tuning in live. If you have any questions about esports, I meant to have again this conversation like 2 weeks ago when I was playing IH Internet War, but a lot of people, not a lot of people, I heard from one person that they thought that the time was a different time and